Hey there, Cowboys Nation. Today we've got some electrifying news that could completely reshape the identity of Dallas's defense moving forward. The Dallas Cowboys have officially secured Brian Burns, a move that signals a bold statement about their intentions to reclaim defensive dominance in the NFL. This isn't just any signing. This is a player with proven talent, relentless motor, and the versatility to terrorize offenses in multiple ways. In this video, we're going to dive deep into why this acquisition matters so much, what it means for the team's defensive scheme, how Burns fits into Dallas's culture, and the ripple effects it could have on their 2025 season and beyond. So buckle up, because this is a game changer. To appreciate the gravity of bringing Brian Burns on board, we have to take a moment and reflect on where the Cowboys' defense has been in recent years. The Dallas defense has experienced an up-and-down roller coaster ride. Under defensive coordinator Dan Quinn, the Cowboys showcased a defense that could be downright vicious at times, producing pressure, forcing turnovers, and creating big moments. But after Quinn's departure, the defense lost some of its edge. The unit struggled to find consistency, and while Micah Parsons was often the face of the defense, the overall group lacked the cohesion and disruptive power that once defined Dallas's defensive identity. The defense seemed to be caught in a transitional phase, switching schemes, shifting coaching staffs, and trying to find the right mix of personnel to complement their aggressive style. Fans were left wanting more. The defense could pressure the quarterback, but often gave up big plays, struggled to stop the run, or couldn't finish drives with takeaways. Enter Brian Burns. Burns brings to the table something that Dallas desperately needs: a dynamic edge rusher with the ability to create chaos in the backfield. Drafted in the first round by the Carolina Panthers in 2019, Burns quickly established himself as a consistent threat on the edge. What sets him apart isn't just his speed or power, but his ability to bend around the edge with remarkable agility. He's a player who doesn't rely solely on brute force. Instead, Burns uses a blend of technique, acceleration, and quickness to outmaneuver offensive tackles. Over the years, he's developed a knack for making plays that don't always show up in the box score: pressures that force hurried throws, tackles for loss, and even coverage drops when called upon. This versatility is a huge asset for any defensive coordinator looking to mix things up. The deal Dallas has struck with Burns is more than just a signing. It's a statement of intent. By investing in a multi-year contract with strong guarantees, the Cowboys are signaling that they want Burns to be the cornerstone of their defense. This isn't a short-term experiment. This is a commitment to building a defense that demands respect. In fact, this signing might be the first step in a broader defensive overhaul designed to restore Dallas to the elite defensive ranks of the NFL. While the team hasn't officially announced all the schematic changes, insiders suggest that Burns will be deployed in a variety of roles. Whether lining up as a traditional edge rusher in a 4-3 front, stunting inside to disrupt the pocket, or dropping into zone blitz coverage, Burns' diverse skill set gives Dallas's coaching staff a wealth of options to confuse opposing offenses. Pairing Burns with another young, hungry edge rusher could create a dynamic duo capable of applying pressure from both sides, making offensive game planning nightmarish. But the real question on everyone's mind is how Burns fits into the current Cowboys defensive scheme. In recent years, the Cowboys have flirted with a more disciplined, turnover-focused style, aiming to reduce penalties and force turnovers through smart positioning and aggressive play calling. Defensive coordinator Matt Eberflus has been working to mold the unit into a well-rounded group that can defend both the run and the pass. But the key to their success lies in consistent pressure on the quarterback. That's where Burns comes in. His ability to rush the passer with speed and power gives Dallas the potential to increase their pressure rate significantly. More pressure means more hurried throws, more mistakes by opposing quarterbacks, and more opportunities for the Cowboys' opportunistic secondary to make plays. Burns also fits well in run support. His ability to set the edge is crucial in preventing offenses from establishing the ground game. If the Cowboys can reinforce their interior defensive line to occupy blockers and collapse pockets from the inside, Burns will have more freedom to pursue and create havoc on the edge. The ability to line Burns up in multiple positions allows the defense to be less predictable, mixing fronts and blitzes to keep offenses guessing. However, this flexibility only works if the coaching staff uses Burns wisely and surrounds him with the right complementary pieces. Looking ahead to the 2025 season, Burns' impact could be profound. On the positive side, his presence should immediately boost the Cowboys' pass rush. Opposing offensive coordinators will need to account for him on every snap, potentially doubling or chipping him, which in turn frees up other defenders to make plays. His ability to generate pressure could lead to more sacks, forced fumbles, and interceptions, swinging momentum in Dallas's favor in tight games. Beyond the stats, Burns' competitive nature and leadership will be invaluable in mentoring younger defenders and fostering a culture of relentless pursuit. That said, the signing is not without challenges. Burns can't do it all by himself. If the Cowboys fail to shore up their interior defensive line or neglect other areas like linebacker coverage and secondary depth, offenses will look to exploit those weaknesses. Defenses are only as strong as their weakest link, and if Dallas leans too heavily on Burns to carry the load, it could backfire. Injuries are another concern. Edge rushers endure brutal physical punishment, and durability will be key for Burns to deliver consistent production. Historically, this signing reminds me of other game-changing defensive moves in the NFL. Think about the impact players like J. Watt or Aaron Donald had when they joined their teams with full trust from coaching staff and proper supporting cast. When those pieces come together, a dominant defense can control the game's tempo and provide the offense with the best chance to win. However, there are cautionary tales too, high-profile signings that didn't fit the scheme or failed to adjust, leading to underwhelming results. The Cowboys must avoid those pitfalls by ensuring Burns is utilized to his strengths and supported by a cohesive, well-rounded defense. Roster-wise, the Cowboys must continue building around Burns. That means reinforcing the defensive interior with powerful linemen who can clog running lanes and collapse pockets, rotating in a second edge rusher to keep offenses off balance, and upgrading linebacker and secondary talent to maintain coverage integrity. The defense must be a complete unit. Pressure alone won't win games if the secondary can't hold up in coverage or the run defense struggles. Coaching continuity and adaptability will be vital. Burning players out or sticking to rigid schemes won't maximize Burns' value. Others caution that Burns' flashy plays might not translate into consistent week-in and week-out dominance. However, the overall sentiment leans toward excitement. Burns is a player with the talent and drive to change the narrative and give Dallas a renewed sense of defensive pride. Projecting the future, there are three main scenarios for the Cowboys' defense, with Burns leading the charge. The best case sees Burns thriving, with Dallas becoming a top 5 defense in pressure, turnovers, and points allowed. Complementary players step up, and the team mounts a serious playoff run fueled by a dominant defense and explosive offense. All things considered, I believe the Cowboys are taking a bold step in the right direction. If they can surround Burns with the right pieces and adapt their scheme to his strengths, Dallas has the potential to recapture the defensive dominance that once made them feared across the league. This signing is more than just adding a player. It's a commitment to excellence, a declaration that the Cowboys want to be competitive on all 3 phases of the game. So, what do you think? Will Brian Burns be the defensive leader the Cowboys need to rise again? Or is this just one piece of a much bigger puzzle? Drop your thoughts and predictions in the comments below. If you enjoyed this deep dive and want to see more breakdowns and Cowboys news, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell so you don't miss any updates. Thanks for watching, and as always, Cowboy up.